G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday of Mother's Day, and I wish a happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there, and to hope you have great health, and may the next 12 months be as great, or if not better, than the previous 12 months that we've experienced. Anyway, I'm down here at Darling Harbour, about to head home, but I thought I'd just pump out one more 5am Club, because I need to do 5 a day in order to achieve my goal of 1,000 by my 61st birthday, which is coming up on the 27th of May. And so far I've done 3 for the day. I had one extra one, but I've had to cancel it because I was on George Street and I got heckled by a passerby who didn't like the fact that I was videoing, and he crossed the path and he thought that I was videoing him. Anyway, we said a mouthful to each other, but we finished off on a positive note. But I did promise that I wouldn't post that entire video on my vlog channel. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is just another topic. During the week, I made a call to a friend of mine who was going to perform as an actor in Greek amateur theatre, and the premiere was last night, and it was his first performance, and he had a significant sort of energetic role, and I just rang him to wish him all the very best and to tell him that I can't wait to see his performance and to encourage him as best I can, because we all know that regardless of how good you are, how talented you are, everybody has self-doubts when the time comes to perform, and the closer we get to that performance time, especially if it's a sizable contribution, because we don't want to let the team down, the more nervous we tend to get. Anyway, we chatted away there, and he said that he was good. He was a little bit nervous, but he was just trying to stay in the right state and do whatever he could to build his confidence. But what he did say to me was that the first night, the premiere performance, is normally okay for most performers. But the thing that he told me that I wasn't quite aware of at all was, he said that always the second performance was the one where people tend to have the most sort of troubles. And he explained to me, he said that what happens is that you're all psyched up. Everybody's psyched up and focused and fully concentrated and ready to go for that first performance. But what happens is that for that second performance, you sometimes get caught with your pants down, because you lose your concentration. Because you got through it the first time, you think that it's all easy and it's all okay. And the second time tends to be the performance which is more error-prone than any other performance. And I've done a number of performances myself in my life, I guess with Opposize as a dance fitness instructor, and I always remember the nerves, because I'd go over and over and rehearse it. I'd rehearse it so many times that on the night that I performed it, I tended to do pretty well and I smashed it. But like Miko Sim suggested to me, when I did a second performance, when I did the same routine the second time round, and I wasn't as focused or as nervous, I ended up missing out and making some mistakes which I wouldn't have made at that first performance. So it just goes to show that we humans are quite interesting when it comes to our performance capabilities. I do know that in horse racing, some horses are able to surprise and to win first up after a spell. So in horse racing, every now and then they send horses for a break, for a holiday, and it's called a spell, where they go out into the country, into a paddock, and they'll just eat and relax and just get over their injuries. And then they'll put them back into training and they'll train them. And then some horses on their race day end up winning or surprising everybody and just showing some spectacular form which they weren't able to show in previous races or the races before they went on a spell. So when you're studying the form and you see a horse that won first up, I always learnt that you never back it the second time, because the chances of it winning the second time or the second run back from a spell is pretty remote. And another rule of thumb that I learnt in horse racing was that most horses are best on their third run back from a spell. So a horse may have run last in its first race, could have ran fifth in its second race, but horses are able, or people are able, to spectacularly improve on their third performance once they've got their fitness and everything back in sync. So I thought I'd share that with you because it was something that I wasn't aware of, and I'm happy I had a chat to Miko Sim, and he was able to enlighten me on that point. So I guess we all have a lot to learn and to understand that performance anxiety impacts lots of people in different fields. But the most important lesson of all is that in order to perform at your best all the time, you need to be focused all the time and not to take things for granted and not to say, she'll be right, I know it well enough, because you need to rehearse over and over and over again to make it second nature. And sometimes we fall into that trap that we've done it once because we're focused on it and we ate, lived, breathed it, and second time around we end up blowing it and making a fool of ourselves, which can impact your confidence. Because you say, well, shit, I got it right last time. I nailed it. I nailed it last time. But the second time round, I stuffed it up. So be careful. Be careful of that, I guess, is the lesson from Miko Sim and from the Thespian community that I know, who put on a magnificent performance last night. The premiere performance of my mother's pension was a cracker. There was about, 10 or 15 people in the cast, and it was funny. It was energetic. It flowed. It was a brilliant performance. So I guess I'll leave it there. Let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive. I am well. I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's stay focused. Stay focused, because once we drop the ball, or once we drop our focus, then we're at a threat of dropping our performance level. So I'll just catch the bus now. I'll head home. I've spent the day here in the afternoon in the city. On this Mother's Day, I went and did some shopping, bought Paula a nice Mother's Day gift to keep her warm throughout the winter months, and had some fun at the same time. All right then, Γεια σας, take care, και τα λέμε. Bye for now from Jim's 5am Club.